There you are.
All right, thank you. I'm a bit out of breath. I just walked up a pretty steep hill. I'm at Norfolk Park in Bath, Joe and Dion's place. As you can see, folks, a lot of police presence. They're going through all the hedgerows at the moment. I'm going to stay away from them, I am, because they might say I'm hindering their police. But as you can see, can you please all share? You could stick it in live feeds, live news and demo news as well, please. Obviously, the Bobby and Joseph Blair's site as well.
I've shared it to yours. I'm just sharing it to Bobby's now.
Thanks a lot. Okay. So basically, they came here at, I think it was about between 4 and 5 yesterday morning. This camp actually has saved at least 7 lives. PTSD sufferers throughout the country are coming down here. I am staying away because otherwise they might get a little bit arsey. So yeah, they were arrested at gunpoint, and that included the 2 daughters as well yesterday. They woke up at 5 o'clock with a gun to their face. Basically, Dion might be used to that sort of thing, as he's a 3 para, but he does suffer. And not last week, the week before, he actually went into hospital with a stroke. It was only a minor stroke, but it's still he's a very ill man. And what this camp has done is actually brought a lot of vets together who suffer from PTSD. And this is what's happening on camp. There was MOD here. I imagine that's another MOD car up there, and I imagine they're still on site. But obviously, we're not here to hinder the investigation. We're here to support Joe and Dion. We've been asked to come by Tia and Dolly. And I do a lot of filming for the camp. As far as Remembrance Day, the candle vigils for all the people who have died of suicide, who suffer from PTSD. That's the field we normally use up there. I think this is a little bit over the top. They're destroying a hedgerow. Hi everybody. There's a police officer down there with a dog and all. That's down by the bunkhouse. I'm going to take a walk down there. I can see a little bit more down there. Well, what we're really worried about is that Tia and Dolly are not allowed to know if their parents are okay. They took their parents early hours yesterday morning, and let's get away from that noise, isn't it? Yeah, so they took them away early hours yesterday morning and won't give them any information regarding their parents. Now, if you think that's right, I think you're wrong. They are supposed to say if the parents are okay and what police station they're at. No, they're not, Space. They're certainly not. They're not here for this camp is actually saving lives. Let's get away from that noise because Bobby's coming to join me. That's Bobby Blair. Joseph Blair, sorry. And I'm sure Bobby will be watching as well. long as I don't hinder their, it's not their field. It's not in their field, but they can't get a bit arsey if I go anywhere near the hedgeway, which I'm not. I'm not going to. There must be about 6 or 7 policemen up there. So that would tell me there's about 40 or 50 on site. I just wonder if they got permission to go in there, into this field. To show you the countryside, which the PTSD camp is. Up on the hill, but there is a chicken farm, a pheasant farm. This is why the vets come down here. Such a lovely place. Yeah, it is, definitely. That's the bunkhouse up there. They just spent, must have been about £7,000 to put that together for their vets. They come in a flat pack of 1,500 quid. And the amount of money they spent on it, unbelievable. It was 4,200 for the shower and toilet block, which they raised the funds for. This part of the site, this is the glamping site. Yeah, so that's the tree house up there. That's for their private business, the glamping site. But this is part of the PTSD camp on the right here. That's the bunkhouse. And so they're now, what they're doing, they've searched the land. Now they're going through the hedgerow, it looks like. And it's still up there. I wish I could zoom in on this. Kate, is there any possibility I can zoom in or not?
It doesn't let me. For some reason, it's not letting us zoom in when Casey tried it yesterday. I mean, you can try it, but I'm not sure if it'll work.
Yeah. Is that better? Is that zoomed in?
Looks like it is a bit.
Yeah, so folks, you can see the treehouse up there. That's the private part of the business of the glamping site. But then you've got, that's the bunkhouse, the toilet, and shower block. They're holding them, I think, under the Terrorism Act, without any proof, I think, at the moment. All right. So as you can see, I won't impede your investigation because I'll probably get arrested. But I'll stay out of the way. What really bothers me is the transparency in this whole case. They're searching a property without anybody present, so the police can actually do what they want. What's happened in the last couple of years, they've had a lot of problems with the police. They just don't like the idea of PTSD camp here, I think, basically. They never have. There are loads of shit stirrers. We don't know if they got any legal representation either. That's a thing. So Dion is a little bit worried, obviously. Tia and Dolly are worried. Yeah, that's right, Wurzel. They actually emptied the site. Most of the animals are gone. I'll tell you the story about an animal now in a minute. I'm going to move away from the noise. Right, I've got Joseph Blair with me. He was at the gate this morning with Tia. Tia was heartbroken. As you all know, Corky had 12 pups. And they brought... Oh, thanks, Fiona. Yeah, so basically, Joseph Blair went up to the gate this morning. There's Tia in tears. She wasn't allowed on camp. They had to get somebody else to go on camp on her behalf to remove Corky and the 12 pups. But the bad news is, when they got there, 2 of the pups were dead. So, Joseph got hold of one of the pups. They died in the night, well, earlier on, and they were just pretty cold. It was all down to being cold. So Joseph actually brought one of the pups back to life. So, but when you got a dog with pups, what you actually need, you need 24-hour care for them. You want to make sure that she's not rolling onto the dogs, onto the pups. Let's go out
feeding them.
I'll into you now. So basically, folks, do you mean they've let an animal die where they shouldn't have removed Tia off her own land. I mean, that's Tia's place down there, right? There's a caravan down there. They've searched it and everything else. So why can't she go back on? Put a police officer there just to escort her everywhere on the land. Yeah, that's right. You do need extra hands. Okay, we're going to move away a little bit from the noise, and I'll do an interview with Joseph Blair. He was at the gate this morning. He did go there last night as well. As soon as he got the camp well done, and he slept in the car last night to support Dion and Joe, obviously, and obviously Tia and Dolly. Okay.
I came here last night. Special branch RUC. That's why I got my fucking Barry on. My number is 236-18 fucking 80. I told them that last night. They checked it. All came through, didn't it? But I looked around this camp. It saves vets. A vet wanted to come here last night and couldn't. And Norman McGuigan, Mines at War, had to take that vet over. We got Dion and fucking Joe locked up in a fucking cell. I haven't got a clue what the fuck's going on. Yeah. We came down here to show what's going on. And look at it. A fucking disgrace. Yeah. I'm calling out to the fucking police, the special branch, the fucking G Squadron, the SAS. Big Phil, come on, mate. Look at this. Saving pet slaves. And we're fucking looking at this shit. This is what they're doing to us. Fucking wrong. All day long. Wrong. Fucking me. I swear to God, I'm fucking heartbroken.
What bothers me, right, is no transparency with this whole thing, where
No.
they've not allowed Tia or Dolly to stay on
Exactly.
site to witness this search, because anything can actually be planted on this site
Exactly.
now.
Of course it can.
That's what really pisses me
We
off.
haven't
Like.
got an independent witness through what's going on here to be on the camp to make sure it's done right. Right? So, if they want to close this camp down, a camp that we've got so much passion for, because it's saving veterans' lives, they can plant anything they fucking want. And what? We're fucked then. To close this camp down. Because that's what they fucking want. Not my fucking order, it ain't what I want. Believe me. I hate every one of you. I respect the place to a point. I'm here now. Everything, I've got my berry on. Yeah, come on, lads. What are we fucking doing wrong? The fucking bloke that set this camp up, he's a para.
3 para.
3 para. 23 years on the rest. Get the fuck asses down here and support them. Your brother's in need. He's locked up in a fucking cop shop. And Joe is.
And they will not tell their daughter next to kin
Exactly.
where they are and if they're okay. They will not tell them.
They could find a World War II bomb on this camp and say, oh, we planted it. Really?
Yeah.
Fucking wrong. I'm going over to have a talk with that cunt anyway in a minute.
Yeah, I'll film it. I'm sure he won't. I reckon we should be.
Oh, well, we know what they wouldn't fucking do, don't we?
But they won't. They might send a sergeant down, but they will not put their
I asked
investigating who's in charge.
I asked with
Inspector.
I asked with Inspector last night. They sent me a sergeant. Yeah. I'm like, out there, fucking really. Look at it.
They're destroying the land, like. I mean,
They're destroying it for nothing.
Yeah.
Right? This is about veterans coming here. Veterans for respect. Yeah. This is what this is about. Yeah. Fuck's sake, you've seen the videos from here. When we got the crossover there.
they taking the flags down, have you?
No. Flag's still flying.
No, I mean the flags where we've done
We take them down. Excuse me, throughout the year because we're not getting damaged. Up until we replace the crosses and do what we do. It's so fucking wrong. Yeah. This is all about saving people's lives, not killing them. These are here killing us. They're here. We had a vet come in distress last night. Wanted to come here. We could have saved his life. We had to push it over to Norman McGuigan. Very good friend of mine. Mine's at war. Right? If they got him, if they didn't get him, he's dead. This is the sort of shit that we deal with all the fucking time. Sorry.
I know how you feel, mate. I know how you feel. I'm not a vet myself. I'm just a civilian. But I've supported this camp from the start. I've known Joe and Dion the last 2 years, like, do you know what I mean? And this is just bad news.
This is about saving lives, not fucking wrecking them. But they're here wrecking it because some cunt decided to do whatever.
Because they disagreed with the camp. This is why this has happened. Somebody disagreed with this camp because they were jealous. That's what it boils down to. There's a shit stirrer out there.
How the fuck are we so wrong? Sorry, Phil, mate.
It's
How
all
the
right.
fuck are we so wrong? Whenever we're saving vets' lives, not killing them. The government are killing them because they shut all the fucking combat-related PTSD camps down. Yeah? No, go down to Philly. What do you call it, Phil?
Where?
Well, put all the immigrations in.
Oh, Penally.
Penally. Give us the fucking camps. Right? Are we sitting around and saying that shit? We served in the fuckers for years.
They'd be glad of a bed.
Exactly.
They'd be glad of a bed. And how many homeless vets are actually on the street, like, do you mean?
Exactly.
Suffering from PTSD.
I call out to all my lads, and I mean it. Yeah. From one vet to another. Right? Look at this. It's heartbreaking as a vet. Please get down here and support us. We need your help. Yeah. We want boots on the ground here. Because we need boots on the ground here. Look what they're doing. Shutting a vent camp down for what? Because some cunt could say, oh, there's a gun there. There was never no guns here. We know that. We've been here since day one. This is a big farce. Look at all the cop vans here. Look at the search teams there. Finding bullets that were fucking discharged fucking decades ago. No. It's so fucking wrong. Honestly, it's so wrong.
It doesn't matter if there's any ammunition found here, to be honest
It's
with you.
not ours. We know that.
You're allowed to shoot on somebody else's land as long as you've got the permission. So if people have been going around shooting rats or whatever, do you mean, or rabbits, at the end of the day, having shooting practice, they're allowed on land.
Yeah.
They only need the permission to come onto land. So if there's any spent cartridges, that's fine. They're not going to find any weapons here unless, of course, they plant them.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we know the police force in Bath and Somerset have been after this camp for a very, very long time.
Exactly. Yeah.
We know it.
We're on about saving lives, not ending lives. If there was guns on this fucking camp, a vet could pick it up and blow his head off in 2 seconds. This is not what this camp's about.
Yeah.
It's about saving lives. There's no weapons here. Yeah. What the fuck's this about? We all know what it's about. It's about trying to shut the place down to save veterans in distress when they're crying out for help, or they're going to kill themselves. What? And look at this shit we're looking at now. So fucking wrong.
Well, they've told the girls that they're going to be here a week.
Yeah.
Week. I reckon they'll be gone Friday. They've probably gone through most of the hedgerow already, because they were around on what's his name, the vacuum cleaner guy, Dyson's land. That's Dyson's land over there.
Yep.
So they would have gone through that hedgerow first and worked their way down. But now they're on this hedgerow, and I think that would be probably the last bit, or they'll be working their way up on that side as well. To be honest with you, I don't think they're going to find anything, to be honest.
Fucking if they find anything, it's fuck all to do with us.
Yeah.
They'll find it. Spent, look at the fucking area we live in.
Yeah.
If they find, spent cartridges from shotguns or whatever, and if it was fired from here.
But don't make any difference.
Exactly.
Because it weren't a few years ago that actually Dion had a firearms license.
Yes.
They took all his guns
Exactly.
illegally, and the police were meant to give them back. But he thought, no, I'm not even going to apply for a firearms again, because it's absolutely pointless. Even though he's a fat landowner and he has a right to have a shotgun or a firearm, he decided against it because of all the bullshit they did last time. So now they've just gone over the top this time. Yeah. They've gone over the top this time. Absolutely over the top. So any cartridges or anything like that found on this camp?
Right. We've got what you call the search team here. They're all stood there.
If you have I think it's in there. If it's not in there, it'll be in there. Yeah.
Look at them.
I'm not impeding the investigation. I'm staying well out of their way.
Exactly.
Because then they can't arrest me for filming. It is our right to film.
Yep.
Full stop. And this is a public footpath onto this land, so they've got no chance on that score. Getting the landowner up here and ask us to leave for trespass, because this is a public footpath. There's a gate for there. You can see there's a little footpath there as well. Do you want to hold that a sec? Just hold it like that.
You got them doing that. Yeah. Look at them. For what? For something that's not even connected with this fucking camp. We're about saving lives, not ending them. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so folks. I'm going to be here for a few hours anyway. What's your thoughts on this, Katie?
As a PADS brat, I'm disgusted in it, to be honest, because if they'd have come with a warrant and showed them a warrant and told them to go out, chances are they might have put up a bit of a disagreement in that, but they'd have walked out. But what they're doing now is going over the top massive. Like, I have no idea why they can't clear the girls' area and let the girls be there to tend to the animals and just be escorted round.
Well, I would have thought the warrant would have been shown to Dion and Joe.
Should have been.
It probably was, because the girls were down this end. They probably kept apart while they took them away. Like,
so
yeah,
but the girls are still evicted from their home, which means that they should have been shown the warrant as well. And by law, even if they were taken under the Terrorist Act, they're still allowed to have someone informed of where they are, even under the Terrorist Act. So why they've not been doing that, and we're now coming on to the second day.
It's under the Human Rights Act anyway. At the end of the day, certain articles in that Human Rights Act states that they are allowed to, next of kin are allowed to know if their parents are okay and where they are. So, dear me, thank you, Sparkle, for coming. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. We'll give you we'll give you directions where we're all parked up. Yeah. So I know, Kate, that you've your own experience of the camp actually saved you over Christmas time, didn't it? To be honest with you.
Yeah, it did. I can't lie about that. And Joe even pulled me aside at one point to because I started having a breakdown when the presents came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they just try and do what they can for people. I mean, people may not agree with the way they do things. They may not agree with who they are, but I mean, they're just trying to do what they can for their own kind, the veterans. I mean, and not even the veterans, the civvies, the PADS brats, everyone around them. They just want to try and help as best as they can when they can.
Yeah. Yeah, true, right. Well, the government certainly isn't helping with the PTSD camp. You know, I mean, Johnny Mercer isn't doing anything, actually, so it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. To do overtime to guide the yeah, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Bit of that last night in distress.
Yeah.
You were sitting here like that.
Yeah. Have you contacted the press office or not?
No.
That's the only advice we've been given.
But you wouldn't tell me anything because I'm an independent journalist.
I can't, because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm literally been drafted in short notice.
Yeah.
To help with the scene.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is we're dealing with an incident, and any information has to come through the press office.
Is there any anti-terror squad?
I've no idea. I've no idea.
Because he's actually doing me special brand.
Yeah.
It might be worth asking why the girls haven't been informed where their parents are because they're worried.
Yeah, I will do now.
We come down to this. See pet slaves on this camp.
Yeah, sure.
There's no weapons. There's no football.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, as we've seen, we know very, very good. We've had to be here to make sure that.
I know that.
But
I know you're doing a different job. Senior job sitting on there.
Yeah.
We've come down to support Tia and Dolly at the end of the day. And
the owners of the site?
The daughters.
Right, okay.
The two daughters. Obviously Joe and Dion as well.
Right.
The daughters have been ringing up 101 and getting through to the custody sergeant of where they've been held.
Yeah.
They will not tell them nothing. They will not tell them anything. They will not say how Joe and Dion are actually coping. And we all know that Dion has suffered a mini stroke last week.
Right, okay.
So and he
I'm
suffers
sure
from
they would have made that
PTSD,
aware to the custody side,
but
wouldn't they?
he suffers from PTSD, and plus his daughters haven't got a clue if they're okay. And this is what we need to know really, is on their welfare, and obviously the daughters need to know where they are, because they're flesh and blood.
When I'm holding
They're flesh and blood,
his daughter this morning
crying.
at the top of them two, because we left here, we were here the Monday, right? Corky had her pups Sunday night, 12, and I'm getting handed dead pups to me at the top here. Now, if they were here, not one of them pups, a couple may have died, they might lie on them or whatever, but because nobody's here to do that. We're here to save lives, human lives. But whenever we're looking at little animals coming out of here dying, I had a little pup in the vest, going like that, and it survived. Yeah. How do you think that makes me fucking think?
Yeah.
When I say my brothers and sisters fucking die.
And do you know what? I have complete empathy for you. I understand how you must feel. Okay, I'm really sorry.
We're just here to do a job at the end of the day, and we're told very little.
We're not here to fucking have a go at you.
No.
We're here to have a go. Why is this
Phil,
fucking happening?
they're in a position where they can phone up 101 and tell the 101 to let the children know where their parents are at the least. They don't have to tell you anything, but they can at least inform the office building.
Yeah, that's right, Kate. What actually happened last night, Tia rung up a few times. The custody sergeant wouldn't tell him anything and just slammed the phone on him, and that's it. They actually put the phone down on him.
Yeah, but
And
what I'm saying is the police are in a position where they can phone up and tell them they have to be informed.
They have to be.
Yeah, but the police there in front of you are in a position where they can phone up or at least tell the office that the children have to be informed immediately where their parents are. They don't have to tell you anything, but they can phone the office themselves.
So if you are upset about
Hang on a sec.
being handled, make a complaint. It'll get reviewed in the right way, and an inspector will make contact with you.
There's no other camp, right? They've shut all the combat ready, the PTSD camps down. Took everything away from the vets, right? We set this up. The only camp in the whole of fucking England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland to save veterans' lives.
Because Johnny Mercer won't spend the money on camps like this
Exactly.
to save lives.
Everything
And he's in
that's
charge of
done
our
here
military.
is charity driven. Yeah. Everything that we do is for the veterans.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And we're sitting here going, well, wait a minute, right? Up on it. Right? Because what we went and served in Northern Ireland. They're being prosecuted now. Yeah, for war crimes. It was a bloody Sunday. And you're looking at that going, really? Yeah. Fucking.
Yeah, Kate.
What's it gonna be?
Kate,
We can't comment on it.
Tia is actually going through the
You know that.
police
At the end of the
conduct
day, this is what we're looking at now.
information
There's
now
gonna
at the
be a
moment.
Afghanistan
So
next to Iraq,
Awesome, perfect.
all the rest.
yeah, I sent
I
the same information you sent from the police conduct site and all that regarding arrest and searches. So hopefully the Tia's having a look through it now. I didn't have enough time last night, otherwise I would have.
Have to be transparent. And we have to make sure that everybody.
Well, it's not really been transparent towards Tia or Dolly. We're not telling them if their parents are okay.
No, that's not down to you. That's down
It's
to
not.
you.
It's not your fault. It's the person who's in charge of this investigation down here.
Like I said,
Get locked up, get a phone call, don't they?
They do,
Yeah.
except in certain circumstances, they might put a hold on it.
Yeah, that's why they changed the charge from a firearm to terrorism.
well,
I
so-
don't know
so-
anything about
there's
that.
lots
Do
of
you
different
mean
rules and regs,
Come on,
aren't
how can it be fucking
Just
embarrassing
to
when we're
co- just to
back
cover
here? What we-
that they can't have the same rights as anybody else? But under the human rights, that tops
Yeah,
everything,
no one
including
says that.
terrorism.
We fucking.
You just made that
We
up.
don't know if they're being tortured. We don't know. Tia and Dolly, after the legislation had come out last year, that the police can actually use torture techniques to get information out of people, and we know what's in that legislation. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Yeah, it's fine. I thought I'd have to provide it. This guy really does not want to get married.
I don't blame him.
when I look at my one, right? We say there's 9 vets laid in this thing. Throughout this year. When you go up the top, go into the fucking top. We have our remembrance. That's not for vets that were killed in battle. For all the veterans.
The candle
Vietnam
vigil.
women
The candle
committed
vigil.
suicide
Since
since
because of PTSD.
because of
Yeah.
PTSD.
Well, they held the third candle vigil last year. It was in Green
Yeah.
Park,
Yeah.
where the vets went down to stop prosecutions of soldiers A to Z.
Yeah.
They had a candle vigil down there the year before, and last year we had it up here. And this is the new home for it.
Yeah.
Because of all the vets that have died of suicide. You're talking about 18, 90 every year. Die of suicide. They take their own lives because they've got PTSD.
I
So
want to say that to you.
that's why you'll probably
Whenever
find a
you
load of
signed up
candles in
as a
that shed.
police officer, did you turn around and say, "Oh, you signed up for mental health"?
No,
You're dealing with all
but
the mental health
we have
now.
we have lots of officers that
You've
obviously
got
suffer
that.
with mental health and
You've got
PTSD
that
as well.
now. Right? It's not what you signed up for. But we're looking at our brothers and sisters and everybody else that's dealing with the mental health
Pinch the light off you.
that we need to sort out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
We're addressing
admirable.
it.
The greatest
We're not
respect-
running
idea
away
behind
from
it.
it.
Yeah. And I've got the greatest respect for you that you're trying to help these people. I really do. And it sounds like something that, isn't actually very accessible, is it?
But
All
I-
this site, the buildings, the bunkhouse, the clubhouse, the toilet block, that was all done by public funds. The £7.5 grand that went onto that bunkhouse, the toilet block alone is it's 4,002. They did a sponsor crawl on the top field.
Oh, yeah.
One guy was on his hands and knees and went around it 13 times, 5 miles, and we raised
that's-
£5 grand to build that shower block and toilet block for the vets.
That's incredible.
Do you know what I mean? And we've also the bunkhouse. The original cost of that was £1,500. The times they finished, that was 7,500. That was all by supporters of vets
Amazing.
and the vets themselves.
Because we want you to work.
Yeah, appreciate that.
We're not on about.
The idea behind it is very admirable, and I commend you for the idea behind it. Like you said, I can't
all
tell you anything.
I want is it's hurting me at the minute. It's ripping my heartstrings out because I know what we've done on this camp.
It's close to your heart.
It's so close to my heart, and I want this nightmare to fucking end.
Yeah.
And it will.
So we can get back to saving veterans' lives. We can get back to going up there and commemorating our brothers and sisters who died in not combat, died of mental health through
I
combat.
can assure you, no incident is open-ended. There will come an end to it, and you'll be able to see your friends again and sort it all out. All right.
But the other thing,
But we can't tell you anything.
I know you.
yeah, I know you can't say that, but you're saying it's transparent. It's not transparent because you're doing a search without any independent person here.
You'd have to discuss that with the press
Because if you were going into somebody's house looking for any evidence, that once you found any type of evidence, then you remove the person because you've already found it. Okay, so with this land, there was no. Nothing was found. They just took them away. Yeah.
Can you see where we're coming from, though?
But
But
that just opens it up to abuse, isn't it? How many times have police cases have actually gone backwards on appeal in court? Yeah, in appeal. I mean, on appeal, they found out they shouldn't have done it. Like, yeah.
I know you don't.
Listen, fellas, I appreciate chatting to you.
Sorry,
I'm gonna. No,
sorry.
it's fine.
It's all right.
Andy's
It's all
got my hands now.
hey, it didn't stop you yesterday when I was taking pictures. All of you without no masks.
I'm sorry.
Everybody was here. They had you could tell they were having a debriefing. They were all having a debriefing before they left in the vans, and not one were wearing a mask.
All I'd say is,
Yeah.
We're not nasty people.
I don't care if you wear a mask or not. Like, I mean, at the end of the day,
No,
I got emphysema. I can't wear one, so.
I want this investigation to be over as quick as possible.
exactly, and the best thing for that
So,
is to let everyone.
whatever-
Well, they are. We won't impede it. We will not impede it.
I just
That's
warn
all
you
I
that
want.
obviously, if you do obstruct anyway,
We're not.
you would be arrested
We're
for
not.
obstruction,
No, I know.
right?
We're not. We're not.
We're not.
I wouldn't go anywhere near the edges because I know what you're up to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to impede
Carry
anything.
on with the investigation.
Let us crack on, and hopefully.
Yeah, it is, and it's a public footpath as well. So
I know.
We want you to do the investigation, get it over
Get
as
it
quick as fuck, and then we can
And
it back
get
here.
the daughters back on site as quick as possible, because the animals.
The flag, we only put that flag up on Sunday.
Yeah.
What's it say on that flag? Soldier A desired.
Oh, okay.
Right? Three up banner. What's wrong with that? No. Yeah. Military. Right? What they make, I don't know. Because of all what's going on with that banner in Belfast, right? Because all the
I
troops
don't
are
know
getting
that
called
banner. I
out
don't
now.
know what you're talking
Right?
about now.
We're sitting here now
He's military.
going, what? Are we going to be hunted down now for serving? Like you're serving your job. You're serving your job.
No.
If it comes to that, you, me, every officer in this thing,
We serve to protect.
we're all
our
fucked in.
don't we?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're not fucking Antifa. We're not the cunts sitting there going, all cops are bastards.
The information they're acting on is somebody who's either
We're
been
not
to
doing
camp
that.
or somebody has a
Right.
disagreement with
All
camp.
my friends,
We've got
all
our
of
fair ideas.
give everybody input.
It will be looked into. It will be investigated privately.
Yeah.
And obviously, Dion and Joe will have a fair idea as well by what sort of questions are asked while they've been in custody.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's pretty obvious that they've had an extension on their custody from 24 hours.
We're the loving current people. They're not looking at you
No,
going,
hello.
these are all cunts. Because we're not.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
But
I
we're here.
appreciate why you're here. I appreciate why you're here.
We will not.
Like I said,
impede
can't do
anything.
anything about it.
I don't
I'm
know.
not
Just here to stop anyone in.
Yeah, we're not-
I
I
all the
see that. I
investigation.
like
Nobody's
As
gonna-
simple as that.
I can turn around and say that nobody's going to fucking interfere with this investigation. We want this investigation over
Yeah,
quick as possible.
Yeah, so do we.
So that we can come back.
But what it's actually done at the moment, it's actually ruined the business as well. The bad publicity, the people who've taken their animals away already, because it's ruined their business. And they get money for this, do they? This is how they earn a living. And now if they get released very shortly, the business is ruined. It's absolutely ruined.
Like I said, we just make sure this is
All the land has been turned up. The hedgerows have been cut, which is going to cost money. So we're not talking pennies to put this right. We're talking tens of thousands of pounds.
As I say,
And that's without the compensation of the business.
do that and try and get the information you want, because that's the only route we've got
Yeah.
for you to be able to speak to. We know very little.
we can't help.
All right, we're just here to guard the scene.
They're
We
drafted
don't
in.
even know what type of officers are on
I know,
site.
but my
Yeah.
problem is each individual here needs to understand the legislation they're getting their powers from. Because if they don't understand,
Terrorism
and they're
Act.
just following orders.
Terrorism
Right,
Act.
so what legislation under Terrorist Act do you have to evict?
I'm just here.
I know,
literally
but
Tear
this is
down
what I
to
mean.
do your job.
I don't need to know that legislation. so I'm
You
here
don't
to
need
guard
to
the
know it,
scene.
but you need to be responsible for your own actions.
Yep.
But you don't know the legislation. This is what I'm trying to get at.
I don't need to know that.
You do need to know
I would have
your own-
thought they'd have explained it again to them all by now.
That's why I asked
You-
you.
I would never be told to do a job and just follow. If you want to know what the Nazis felt like in World War II, in order for those to stop them, here you go.
See where you
They're
go.
following
Because
orders.
you haven't even attempted to do that yet, so that's the best
No.
route.
Absolutely. And as I say, you're within your rights to make a complaint if you're unhappy with the way it's been handled.
I'd love to tell them to do that, but
We're not turning around.
they're not going to. They're here for a mission, they are. And it is to
No, I know that.
ruin Dion and Joe's business, and also to stop PTSD sufferers.
Amen. I tell you what, if they want
Come in here.
terrorism, they need to go on a peaceful demonstration and look how they treat the women there.
This saves people's lives. I'm not going to a place.
Yeah, so
where nobody
Dion
can
has
stop.
given his land, so part of his land, to the PD sufferers of the country,
I'm sorry,
and he
Dad.
also
Thank you for talking to me, Johnny.
he actually he's free para. He served I think it's 21, 22 years with the 3 para. So
I love you,
On the
sir.
land that isn't
Thank-
Johnson Jones.
Stop the thing with being back.
We know that.
I am upset. I'm really upset.
yeah, that's right. It's nesting season as well. So basically, the wildlife will be dispersed from here. because they're cutting, as you can see, all hedges back on both sides. I'm not going to go within a few meters of them because it's not right. Let them carry on, find nothing. And hopefully they ain't planting anything. So that's another reason why we're here. Because we don't know if they drop something or they find something. There's a couple of people going over there.
Yes, oh yeah, definitely.
They go, that's cancelled. I'll be fine. Fuck off.
So there, folks. No evidence bags come out or anything like that. So obviously, so they haven't found anything there in that hedge. So basically, Tia and Dolly don't know where their parents are. They don't know if their parents are okay. They have no idea what's going on at all. The daughters, and it's pretty shameful, really. When a custody sergeant, when they ring up 101, puts them through to 101, puts them through to the custody suite they're actually staying at, and the custody sergeant puts the phone down as soon as they know who they're talking about. Puts the phone down on their daughters who are in custody. This is how sick our government is, really, to be honest with you. They shouldn't be doing things like that. So you've got two worried daughters at the moment who have no idea how their parents are. Dion is actually very sick. He suffers from PTSD in a closed environment, a police cell, where he's lived for the last, I don't know, since he's left the military in open land. And now he's in a police cell. Great. And the police will not inform the daughters if they're okay, and they will not say where they are. At the end of the day, everybody has a right for that. If it's your parents, you should know what's going on. You should know, and you shouldn't have some custody sergeant in a custody suite putting a phone down on the daughters. As soon as they know who they are, putting them down and won't even speak to them. Now that is just bang out of order. Absolutely bang out of order. We wanted to do a welfare check with somebody that we know from the camp who actually is qualified in this aspect of PTSD, and they would not let her in. They would give no information at all to know if he's okay. The guy suffered a mini stroke the other day. Anyway, yes, their doctor might be looking after him, but drone, yeah, just get our pictures. I'm fine. I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm not breaking any law whatsoever. If my daughter gets kicked in, because I support the camp, I've supported them financially as well as giving them help. Also, all of you know I do all the filming for the camp as well, for the different events they have here. They can do what they want and kick my door in. They can arrest me for 72 days. I don't really care, or if longer under the Terrorist Act. But at the end of the day, I've got nothing to hide. Absolutely nothing to hide. This lot have. Yeah, it probably is Sean's money. If there's any money up in the top field, it's Sean doing his 5-mile crawl. I think they're out with the metal detectors over there as well. Don't know if I can zoom in enough. If I use my camera, I'll take photos after. Yeah, the other thing, Abby, is they're not letting any independent person on the land to actually witness their search. Obviously, they've got no intentions of that under the Terrorist Act, because they think they can actually do whatever they want. But I'm afraid if anything is found on this site, we don't know if it was actually planted there or anything like that. All we know, it could be planted there. As you can see, there's a drone. I'll try and get the drone in if I can. There's a police drone up there somewhere. Yeah, there you go. That's it, but there. Just about see it. They're just taking our photographs. That's fine with that. I can live with that. Yeah, so folks, at the end of the day, this camp has saved 7 lives so far. 7 lives. All right. You don't have a problem with us being on your land, do you? Filming this? I'm not filming you. I won't do that.
The main concern is
I thought this was owned by an 80-year-old gentleman.
no, he just farms it.
Just farms it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's up for sale, isn't it?
Yeah, we own it.
Yeah, because actually, sometime next week they're actually raising enough for a deposit for the land.
Ah, but it's,
And this is all going on now.
Currently, obviously, it's owned by this gentleman.
Yeah, yeah.
You are.
the main thing is we're going to be seeding the land soon.
When,
So
when's that?
we've got to arrange to fence up and protect it for the seeding.
Right.
As you can see, it's quite
Yeah.
poor state.
Yeah, well, I've been down this hill in the night. We've had lampers down there because they nick stuff from the farm, like, and people with their lamps. I tell you what, that's a bad hill.
Well, we've been here 37 years, so we know,
All right.
we know all about the hills.
So what time are you going to be doing the seeding on there?
I've got to check with the farmer, but it's,
Yeah.
it's imminent. Yeah.
All right. If you just let us know, we'll move straight away.
Yeah, no, this is fine.
Well, it's only the supporters of the camp, obviously. He's Special Branch used to be ex-Special Branch, he's a vet.
Right.
Obviously, he's been on this camp so many times, it actually saved his life.
Yes.
So it's saved 7 lives at the moment. They do everything on this camp. Like, they've raised so much funds for the shower block down there. There's a bunkhouse as well. They've done so much. And somebody was kindly donating a deposit for this.
Right.
That's if it's still up for sale. Like.
I don't think it is now, no. But it obviously is a good thing to do.
Yeah, spot
I'm
on.
not sure if veterans with PTSD want to be around firearms there. I understand this is to do with firearms. So.
But they don't have firearms on here. That's the problem.
So,
It's a lot of police here, but they have to find firearms
I
first.
have a family with young children.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just concerned about firearms.
They wouldn't have firearms on here. I know for a fact that Dion, he had a firearms certificate. His guns were taken off him. The court told him he could have them back. He decided not to continue with his firearms, so there won't be any firearms on him. The police already taken them. There might be shells or something like that, but the shells are already spent. And you're allowed. It doesn't matter whose land it is. You're still allowed a firearm on there if you've got. Yeah. As long as you've got a firearms license, as long as the landowner says yes, you can shoot on that site, you're going to find spent cartridges, but they're not going to find no firearms on the site. Maybe the odd air rifle for shooting the rats.
Yeah, we've got a few.
Yeah. I have got an air rifle myself if you want me to shoot them.
No, we've got air rifle.
Shot. Yeah, there's quite a few on here. But yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Concern is it's more of just an air rifle.
Well, so they say.
Please do the job.
Yeah, so they say. And it doesn't stop them planning. The transparency of what's going on is there's nobody present for the search. If they're searching your house, you're allowed to stay there until they find something. But they haven't done it with this. They just took Joe and Dion, the landowners, away, and that's it. Obviously, Joe and Dion I got a feeling that they'll release them. Definitely, Joe. If they go for any spent fire shells and stuff like that, I don't think they'll find firearm on you. But if they do, we don't know if they planted it because we know the police how many times they've been down here for a lot of other different things. Last week they came down with 2 police officers and a planning officer, but it weren't. It was to get the layout of the land. That's what it was because they were taking photos. But it didn't. A normal planning officer would send an email or a phone call, and it didn't. So it's all it's not really transparent. And what bothers me as well, Tia and Dolly, who live on the site, they're not being told anything. The phone slammed down on them. They're trying to get through to a custody sergeant, right? They go through on 101, and those poor kids, 2 dogs died.
Oh, at the top.
The pups.
So the ladies came in yesterday.
Yeah, but when you got pups and a mother, the mother roles, you have to somebody there near enough constantly. You can't just leave them alone and come on the site two times a day.
Yeah.
You can't. But this is going to wreck Dion and Joe's business now.
You happy they're going to shut the gate up?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't need you to hold the gate open. I didn't need to come in. I was going through my gate over here. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I thought they'd be able to have access any amount of time to, horses, pups.
No, they're allowed 8 o'clock, and I think the other time is 4 o'clock. So it's at the end of the day, people take their animals off as well. No.
Well, my mum used to look after their cats. We still do. The cats still come through.
Oh, so you're the one with the party tent over there as well?
Sorry?
You had a party there in the summer?
We probably did, yeah. One of my sons probably had a bit of a party.
We had a bit of a party over here. I think it was twice last year.
Yeah, the last time we spoke, there was a bit of a bonfire going. And Dion said, yeah, okay, we'll put that out. And then I said, can you hear our music? And he said, can you hear our music? Well, yeah, we did hear some of it. I mean, I think when it's in a tent, it's going to go out everywhere.
Yeah. But it's just a disagreement, isn't it? That's all it was.
Actually, the noise, it's not been too bad, I think.
You haven't heard any firearms going off. You might hear the air rifles going off, where they're shooting the rats and the target practice. Yeah. And that's all you'll hear over here. You won't hear shotguns going off or any other type of gun going off over here.
Yeah.
Nah, definitely not. Not when I've been here anyway. So,
on my nose, there was a truffle at 5 o'clock yesterday morning.
Yeah, I already know. I know.
I got woken up by it.
Yeah, helicopter landing as well. Sometime in the day, wasn't it? But if this is all downfounded, the police are going to be paying a hell of a lot of money out on this.
I'm sure it's costing a lot of money.
Oh yeah. It will cost them even more because of this. Because the field's been turned up with all the vans on the grass and stuff, and the business they're going to lose because of it. The bad publicity they've already had. There was one PTSD sufferer who was meant to come down this camp yesterday. He phoned, tried to get through to Dion, and ended up getting through to Joseph, and basically they put it on to somebody else who could help. And the thing is people come down here. Some are suicidal sometimes, especially when they serve their country.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do. I think it's important to do these things.
Yeah.
To do them in an organised way.
Yeah, it is pretty organised. It's their first year doing it, and fair play to them. What they've actually done and achieved. 7 lives saved. 7. I brought one down Christmas Eve. I went all the way up to Manchester to pick somebody up. Brought them all the way down there on Christmas morning, and then I went back home myself, for my Christmas dinner. You know what I mean? So it's helped a hell of a lot of people. It's helped Joseph over there, Bobby, a few others. But I find this wrong. They're not letting their daughters know what's going on.
Yeah, I guess they have to.
I bet they haven't even got any. I bet they haven't even got a solicitor. They won't allow them to have a solicitor at the moment. No, I don't think the landowner's going to let us camp on his land.
Down here.
That's what he just asked. No, I don't think so. He's kind enough let us walk on here, and he'll let us know when he needs to cede it, and we'll vacate it then. As long as we got his permission, it's fine. There is a public footpath, isn't there?
There is.
The bottom field's yours as well, isn't it?
No.
It's all part of the 13 acres up here, no?
Yeah, but it's not this.
Oh, right.
That's in healthy field.
What, innit?
Same like
We're family.
Yeah, that's pretty flat. That's a nice field over there. I like that.
Yeah, there's a big dip in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, but the view here is amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing view.
Been here a long time.
Yeah, nice pheasant farm at the top.
But yeah, you can see it's a bit weedy.
Yeah. Is that Dyson's field down there then?
I don't know, quite a lot of the land is.
Yeah.
It's weedy on top. So it's not kind of not ready for grazing.
So much work do it needs to do on this. What will you put in here then?
I think they'll put sheep and cattle. Rotate.
Yeah. It's a lovely area. I love this place. I love coming down here, to be honest with you. Absolutely love it.
We've been discovering some really good walks in the lockdown.
Yeah.
Full circuits all the way around North and Philip House.
I must have been about 15 times up here since March last year. Amazing.
Where do you live?
South Wales. Yeah, I come up here. Journalists. But I do all the filming for the camp.
Right, yeah.
For any of the events and stuff like that. And I also, it's on StreamYards, but it's been pushed to YouTube, my page and stuff like that.
Right.
But I film all the injustices, not just the vets. I'm out every single week, like doing something
related to.
Yeah.
Well, no.
No, to do with the vets, Soldiers A to Z, the prosecutions. I'm also for the I support the PTSD camp. I also for the children. Loads of other different things I kind of support. So I actually went to Bradford on Saturday. I filmed that. I was in the middle of two kettles, police, those horses one side pushing a lot of protesters down, and I had about 2,100 people watching live. That's just on my Facebook. So yeah, it's I do get around the country a bit. Yeah, I do. But under COVID, I'm allowed to travel.
Yeah, you've got this.
Yeah, I'm allowed to travel, so I'm pretty okay on that. Oh, you're finding COVID?
Well, my business is construction, so we're traveling outside.
Yeah, you're still allowed to work. Yeah, that's right.
So it has changed things. Got some people with heart conditions on furlough and that sort of thing, you know. So
Yeah.
it's
I haven't seen. That's
right.
right. I've never really believed in it too much. I know a few nurses and doctors. I've interviewed lots of people different like that. I've interviewed people who've been affected by the COVID and stuff like that. So I know what the truth is going on. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just go by fact. Like, yeah. All right. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, good to meet you.
All right, folks. Sorry about that. I was having a little chat with the landowner. That was actually the landowner who farms. Well, he actually farms land, and he doesn't mind us being here. Obviously, as long as we don't impede the investigation. So I'm going to have a walk around, little walk. That was good of the landowner. That was having a chat. And no, he won't let us camp in the field. He won't let us camp in the field, but he doesn't mind us being on the property. Yeah, get them to turn the potatoes over in their the veg garden, is it? Yeah. Yeah, that's brilliant. There's carrots growing in there. I think two different varieties of carrots. I think I was told by the person who planted them. So yeah, it's pretty. It looks like it's a tea break at the moment. As you can see, they ripped everything apart. That hedge is.
He turned
And
up
I can see the comments now. They even brought their own toilet block. It's on the side of the house. It's next to the blue thing up there. You can't see it properly, but I can. So let's tell you the story again. You have Joe and Dion. Dion is para-free. He set up this camp in Bath on some of his land to save PTSD sufferers, and also a bit of respite for PTSD sufferers can come down here who have served, and their families. That's why they built the bunkhouse. The bunkhouse is for the vet and the families who suffer from PTSD for a bit of respite. So now what we've got, they came onto the land at 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday. Joe and Dion were taken away. Tia and Dolly, the daughters, twin daughters, they were asked to vacate the premises. Now bear in mind they've got animals, they've got pigs, they've got geese, chickens, ducks, horses, all on this site, and dogs, obviously. So Tia is now allowed on the property at 8 o'clock in the morning to feed the animals. She's allowed on the property at, I think it's 4 or 4:30 to feed the animals. Joseph Blair went to the main gate at, I think it was 8 o'clock this morning, and Tia was talking with him. They sent somebody in to collect Corky and the pups. There was 12 pups born. And see, when you've got a mother and pups, you need constant attention. You've got to make sure that she doesn't roll over. And was 2 dead pups up. Joseph brought one back to life, but unfortunately he couldn't save the other one. So I'm afraid the RSPCA should be down here, or somebody should be down here looking after the animals, or let Tia on site. She ain't impeding anybody. Even when she comes down here, she's got a police officer following her. And the most of the police they've actually used, do you mean? They could at least let one police officer follow her around while she's feeding the animals, or let her. They've searched her caravan already, do you mean? So they ripped that apart. So why can't they just do it? Right, Casey? Yeah. Yeah, so folks, this is absolutely bonkers, this is. Right, folks, I am going to come off this live in a minute. I'll let Casey carry on, because she's on a live as well. Yeah, folks. Yeah, they are, Betty. They are beautiful. They are beautiful people. Giving up their time and land for them to be treated like this. He served his country. He's done over 20 odd years as a para. I mean, para-3 he was, and they're treating him like this. I don't think they did, Pauline. I think they're basically, well, you all know that Dolly's got a daughter as well, so it's only a baby. I think they did mention something about a hotel, but they're staying with family they are at the moment, but they have to be close so Tia can come back and feed the animals every day. Well, I don't know what they're looking for, Templar. If they find any spent shells, shotgun shells, it makes no difference, does it? I mean, it makes no difference at all. Like, I don't think they'll find any firearms on you except for air rifles, because that's all we've ever brought down here is air rifles, and I think Dion's got an air rifle, and that was it. So that's the only thing that we've done target practice. We shot rats down here and stuff like that. But that's what naturally happens on farmland. You shoot the rats. But this is ridiculous. This is. Got police down with there, still down there. And anyway, if they find any shells, Dion actually held a firearms certificate. But since they've moved onto this land, built the house up there, all they've had is grief after grief after grief. But this is a step too far. This is down to somebody who's either been on camp and had a disagreement, or somebody who's had a disagreement with Joe and Dion. We're doing a little shit stirring. Anyway. They've had authority off the landowner. Yeah, we know that. Right, folks. I'm gonna stop this live. If I come back, I'll come back. Don't know. I need to speak to Tia later. Oh, Dolly. At the end of the day, you should be having support down here from. I know some people are saying don't come down here. As long as you don't impede the investigation, I'm sure Tia and Dolly will appreciate it, and so will Joe and Dion. That's the bit that gets me. They should tell Tia if their parents are okay. Yeah, it does definitely stink. Somebody sent them bad information. That's what it is. But what I'm bothered about is they're on this site, on their Todd. They've been down here so many times in the past and given them so much grief. I wouldn't be a bit surprised what they'll sink to. Do you know what I mean? Most of the police officers won't realise what's going on here. They might be fair guys. That's fair enough. But then you might have some people within the search team might have a grievance because they're far left or something silly like that. When Dion and Joe are just right. They're not really into politics anyway. They don't care. They absolutely don't care. Absolutely don't care. I mean, they disagree with COVID, yeah. But this is just going a step too far. Absolutely step too far. Right, and Kate, are you still there? Right, Kate, I'm going to be signing off now, right? Okay.